What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from, well, Jeremy Hambly, the channel. It's my name. It's my second channel. If you're used to seeing me on the quartering or anywhere else, this is a second channel where I do at least one video every day of the week. Make sure you leave a like on it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more uncensored takes, a little bit spicier channel here, and some longer form videos planned and much more to keep things exciting. Hopefully we'll hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and that would be incredible. The levels of fatigue. Leave a like on the video if you have fatigue. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the same day, every day, we have to see another article about somebody just minding their own business and their life gets taken from them. Why? Because somebody, generally the same kind of person every time, but not always, who belongs probably in a mental institution at the very least, or in prison, takes their life for no reason whatsoever. Everyone knows the story of the Ukrainian woman on the train by now, finally, but the fatigue has now reached levels that I never thought I would ever see. I never thought I would have some of the thoughts that I have today that I do now. It's just, and it's a product of liberal judges making excuses. Now we have a beloved Auburn University professor, who's a veterinarian, I believe, simply out walking her dog when she gets hacked to pieces by another usual suspect, a man in his 30s with dreadlocks. What was her crime? Nobody will ever know. I assume it was disrespecting him or something like that. This is absolutely, I'm just so sick of this. And to be honest with you, everybody's sick of it. People in the black community are sick of it too. I think it's ridiculous to expect to think that normal, law-abiding citizens in the black community think this stuff's okay. But the difference is they don't police their own community. And judges don't police their own communities. Liberal judges say, well, 400 years ago, there were slaves, so I guess he gets to take a white life because they don't matter. Because 14 times in prison wasn't enough. How about this guy? I bet you it wasn't his first crime. Beloved veterinarian Dr. Julie Gard Schnuel, 59, was found in the woods in a wooded area in Kiesel Park, Auburn, Alabama this weekend. Her injuries were consistent with an attack with a sharp object believed to have been a knife. Auburn PD said in a statement obtained to Daily Mail, her dog was unharmed. Now, I'm actually surprised that they didn't take the dog's life, too. Who did it? Well, Harold Rashad Dabney III, 28-year-old young black man, was charged with 2 counts of capital in the capital connect to the connection of a slaying. By the way, faces now the death penalty. Warrants have not been released yet, but Dabney's charges are likely to include, what you would expect. Kidnapping, all this kind of stuff. The crime is a Class A felony and can result in the sentence of death or life imprisonment without parole. Dabney was arrested Sunday morning and taken to Lee County Jail, where he's being held without bond. What was her crime? Being in the park. I'm telling you that things, here we go. Just another interchangeable guy with dreadlocks or cornrows or whatever you call this, took another life. By the way, does anybody think the media would have reported on this if it weren't for that Ukrainian woman? By the way, there are consequences coming. We're going to talk about that in a second now. Because the only way you fix this, well, there's a lawful way to fix this, and that is to get the judges to do their damn jobs and keep these people in prison away from society. Or there's another way. And you're going to start seeing the other way here. If judges, I want the judges to do their job. I don't want vigilantes. I don't want, summary executions by mobs. I don't want to go there. But if you think that, this community, right, is going to continue to do what they're doing without any repercussions for much longer, You're sorely mistaken. I don't want that. I want somebody who's been to jail 14 times for various, aggressive crimes to stay there. I want him alive, but away from society, right? That's what jails are for. Don't have room in the jail? Build another one, right? I'm sick of hearing about, well, the jails are overcrowded. Build another one. That's the dumbest, most liberal, idiot, brain rot take I've ever heard. The prisons are full. We have to let people out. No, you don't. Build another prison. Do another deal with some foreign country, and like we're doing with Trump did. Send all of our murderers to sit in some third world country. See what happens to crime then. Shmuel drove to Kissel Park on Saturday morning for a routine walk with her dog when she was attacked in a wooded area of the 124-acre park. Police descended on the park just after 2 p.m. after a 911 caller reported finding her body. The coroner, of course, pronounced her gone at the scene, while investigators alleging that it was, due to an attack. Dabney was taken into custody Sunday morning in the 2300 block of Beehive Road by officers responding to reports of a suspicious person in the area. This is going to be another homeless drug addict. That's what it's going to be. Preliminary reports suggest he stole the veterinarian's red Ford F-150 truck from the scene and later abandoned it near a pumpkin patch 5 miles away. The truck was recovered after Dabney's arrest. Shmuel's dog was also found safe and in the care of her loved ones. Authorities have not said what led to the attack. Well, there was nothing that led to it. Are they going to say she said the N-word? Is that what the media is going to try to say again? People are over this crap. And, Trump needs to flood these Democrat hellholes with the National Guard. He absolutely does. I would say, leave a like on the video if you agree, but give me a reason why not to. Give me a legitimate reason why you don't do this, why you don't flood these areas. I want to know. Do you think citizens want to live in fear? I don't. I think citizens don't want to live in fear. I think citizens want the National Guard there. They don't want to get randomly stabbed when they're walking their dogs constantly. They don't want that to be yet another thing that we see. It's unclear if Danby personally targeted Shmuel. He didn't. She was just there, and he took her life. That's what happened. Who is understood to have visited the park daily, or if he targeted her at random. Shmuel worked as a faculty member of Auburn University Department of Clinical Sciences from 2003 to 2021. The university released a statement, blah, 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 thoughts and prayers, just another misunderstood black man doing something horrible, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's going to be, then and the news wouldn't even have covered this if it weren't for the Ukrainian woman. She was spunky and ready to make jokes, but if she saw something she didn't like, she would always stand up for you or herself, her former student said. She'd be there to defend you and help you out. And now she's dead. Why? Because she got too close to an animal, right? Tommy Tuberville wrote, Suzanne and I are devastated by the passing of this tragic loss in our community. We're praying for the victim. Why? She's already dead. She's already gone. Her husband now lost his wife. Her kids lost a mom. I don't understand why, again, very tragic. Next time, just hand over your wallet. No, I am sick of people saying this. No. Next time, put these people in prison for life. Now, do you think that this was this first guy's crime? Do we think that we're going to see this was his first crime? No, of course, he's going to have, 20, 30, 40 run-ins with cops prior to this. They're going to say he was a mental health guy, drug addict. Why is he on the streets? Here's Congressman Randy Fine saying, I'm going to introduce legislation to hold judges accountable when aggressive, violent repeat offenders, when they release them and they commit new crimes. It's very easy to release criminals when you're protected by an armed bailiff at all times. The rest of us aren't so lucky. Those 12 plus judges that released DeCarlos Brown Jr. should have their day in court too. I agree. You know, there should be consequences for using your own politics. This idea that, you know, we talk about the DeCarlos Brown Jr. in jail 14 times, released early nearly every time. The system, well, we don't know what to do with them. I know what to do. Keep them locked up behind arms, locked up behind bars. Keep them locked up behind bars. People are sick of this. This guy was in and out of jail 14 times. 14. You mean to tell me you couldn't see it coming? We have reached a level of fatigue that I have never seen. I never thought was going to be possible. And the truth of it, the fact of the matter is, we've had enough. The American people have had enough. These liberal judges that keep saying, well, you know, let's get him out. By the way, this judge in this other case, DeCarlos Brown, she's going to turn out to be corrupt because it turns out she runs like some sort of rehab center that she then releases people into. You know, she releases these people into her own for-profit business. It's absolutely insane. And people are sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. And our government needs to start protecting us from, you know, if our federal government needs to start protecting us from our local government if they're going to allow these people out on the streets. I say flood the street. President Trump needs to flood the street of every major city with the National Guard and the standing army, period. Protect your citizens. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I don't have a problem with it. I'm sick and tired of it. Leave a like on the video if you are too. Thanks so much for subscribing here to my second channel as we race to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you are subscribed, you have notifications turned on, and we'll talk to you again real soon.